I do? How do I be a mother to a baby that is a year old, a toddler, and she's going to die in 6 months? What do I do? How do I be a mother? And I write in the book about them telling me when the specialist said Laura has 1 or 6 months to live. Now, Laura lived to be 4.5 years old, which surprised the doctors. But 4.5 years, every day, I sat on edge wondering when my baby was going to die. My next chapter is about life after a diagnosis of death. And it's so true. After you've been told your loved one, your baby is going to die, how do you live? How do you be a mother? And then life after the baby dies. When Laura dies, what took place? She had a terminal illness. Tay-Sachs was a terminal illness. It's a nervous system death. She would lose her senses, her 5 senses gradually. And instead of progressing in years, she would go back in years. So 6 months, she didn't quite mature to 6 months. And then I write about self-care. How do you take care of yourself after your baby dies? Laura was home for 17 months, and then she had a seizure, and she could no longer eat on her own, so she was tube fed. So here in Canada, I know in the States it's different, in some other places it's different, but she remained in the hospital under a nurse's care. So I would go every day without fail to visit my baby. Over a period of 3.5 years before Laura's death, I had 2 more daughters born. And I would haul my 2 girls with me every morning, drive an hour, spend some time at the hospital with Laura and her sisters, and we would come home again. I did not work outside the home at that time. So our fuel bill and other expenses became very high. Financially, it was very difficult on our family. But I didn't know what else to do, knowing that she's not home. And how do you survive? What kind of a mother? There are no books, there is no instructions on what kind of a mother. How do you mother a child that's in the hospital? I went on instinct, and that meant I refused to live with guilt. If I didn't visit my daughter, I would feel guilty after she died. If I didn't bring her sisters, I would feel guilty. I did whatever questions I asked myself, and I took care of it so that I had no guilt. When my daughter died, I did not have guilt that I would have done something different. I still had the shame and the taboo about my daughter dying and what it was like and how everybody went on in life but me. I still grieved. Now, I was a mother with 2 young babies, so I still had to take care of my children and motherly wife duties. And I explain in the book what that was like, family and friends knowing my child's going to die and then she dies. People are very different. It's mostly people are uncomfortable with death. It's come a long way today, but in 1980 and 1984, death and dying was something people didn't talk much about, trust me. And the elderly had such a different opinion, but the young people didn't even think, they didn't look at you and they didn't include you because I seen in the eyes of people that I must have looked like I was fragile and would fall apart. But it was not like that. So go to my website on Amazon, Surviving the loss of my child. It's a very great resource for somebody that has lost a child, will lose a child, and how to support somebody that's been lost a child. Have a great day. Bye for now.